Rats. And the Oilers. Nothing here in the bottom of the first. Cortez, the pitch, and he spikes in the dirt off of Dupre, and a run comes in to score for Signal Hill. 1-0 Oilers. After that one spiked on the pitch to Johnson. Coming in to score is Guzman, helping out his own case. Alta Moreno to third, and everybody else advances as Selby goes from first to second. So 2 outs, still 2 in scoring position. One nothing Oilers here in the bottom of the first as Cortez can escape the jam. Next pitch also in the dirt, 2-0. Time's called to exchange a baseball or two, but the Oilers getting a run in after the wild pitch, spiked. Cortez is set, eyes the runner at first, comes home with it, or not the runner at first, but gets a ground ball to second, and that's whiffed by Vega at second base. Here's the throw from Rawlings in right. It will be a 3-hopper, and Rowan Dupre can't tag the runner out at home. So an error at second by Vega allows 2 runs to score. It's now 3-0 Oilers here in the first. The Vega cousins making 2 errors, 1 apiece. You just wonder, is it a little sleepy later in the day? 4:30 start time. Maybe the dirt playing a little tricks on the infield, as the team did not take infield today compared to their usual practice. As Cortez checks on the runner at first in Johnson, here steps up Raul Gonzalez. And normally the team takes infield before the game, and maybe the team gets adjusted to the field here at Cerritos, but today they did not, and here they are making 2 infield errors as Cortez spikes in the dirt, and the runner advances to second. So the second wild pitch of the inning from Cortez, he makes 2 errors, 2 wild pitches, 2 free passes, 1 via a walk, 1 hit by pitch, and that spells disaster. 3-0 Oilers here in the bottom of the first, just when Cortez was about to get out of it. And that one is sprayed foul out of play, 1-1. Just when you thought Cortez was getting out of it, you blink, it's 3-0. The pitch with 2 outs, and it's sprayed foul by Gonzalez right behind him. 2 strikes to the hitter. Cage Rats didn't have anything cooking against Guzman on the mound. Will now find themselves facing their earliest deficit of the season by 3 or more runs, as that swung on a miss by Gonzalez. Dupre tags him out, and that completes the strikeout, but not before a 3-run first inning for the Oilers. And after 1, we head to the top of the second. 3-0 Signal Hill over the Cage Rats on the Cage Rats Broadcasting Network. Top of the second inning, 3-0 Signal Hill as we sit here at Cerritos High School. Zach Anderson Yoxheimer with you guys. It's now Tito Robles hitting for the Cage Rats, looking to come back down 3 in the early going as Robles takes a breaking ball for a strike at the knees, 0-1. First inning, it was Guzman who struck out 2. Looking to do the same here as he misses with the fastball low. Had some good velocity, at least up close and personal. Hits his spot so far, low in the zone. Breaking ball, it's working today. And Robles gets a low strike called against him, 1-2. And if you can locate where the umpire is calling strikes 2, well, that works too. Guzman, the 1-2, spikes it in the dirt, 2-2. Didn't see too many of that in the first inning. Just clear, simple deliveries. Would throw appetizing strikes to swing at. One swing from Francois after getting behind in the count, 3-1. Here's the 2-2, and Robles swings and misses as that fastball blown right past his bat for the third strikeout for Guzman. Here comes Andy Vega, hitting well over 500 in the first week of play. One out, nobody on in the second. We'll see how the Cage Rats offense does here away from home. Already scoreless first. Vega takes a breaking ball outside, 1-0. The youngster Vega. Both the Vegas making errors, looking to atone for it here in the second. He chops it foul, 1-1. 3 home runs lead the team so far this year. Of course, right as I say that, they motion the outfielders to come in and play shallow. The pitch from Guzman, and that's lifted to deep center. On the run is the center fielder making the catch. Route number 2. That's Reddick, ranging back a step or two to his left. Wind blowing in, much deeper ballpark here at Cerritos, and those aren't going to leave the yard here today. Was the hardest hit ball so far for the Cage Rats in the first 5 hitters. Kyle Rawlings steps in with 2 outs, nobody on. And that fastball misses upstairs. Rawlings takes a strike, going 1-1. And hitting in Carlos Vega's spot is Jacob Ramirez, standing on deck. If he comes up, as Rawlings climbs the ladder, misses at a way high fastball, 1-2. So maybe some early switches today for Joe Magno. Maybe frustrated with his team's 3-run deficit here in the second. As Rawlings takes one right at the belt for a called strike 3. And that's 4 strikeouts in the first couple of innings for Guzman. 3-0 heading to the bottom of the second inning. The Cage Rats trail the Oilers on the Cage Rats Audio Network. 3-2. That one's fouled straight back and staying alive. It's Reddick again on the 3-2. Won't go down with 2 strikes. Has seen at least 5 to 6 pitches since getting down 1-2. Yesterday, the Cage Rats shortened up their bullpen usage as Bruce Yamamoto threw 6 innings, 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. As Cortez loses him with the fastball upstairs for ball 4. Yamamoto might be the early bid for one of the pitchers of the week here in the Sunset League in week number 2 of play. Here's Oropeza with nobody out and another leadoff runner on for the Oilers. And he takes a strike at the letters 0-1. Yamamoto, 6 shutout innings, the longest any pitcher for the Cage Rats has gone this summer in Sunset League play. The pitch is cut on and missed, 0-2. You had Mike Fletcher coming in relief. You had Van Leeuwen making his first appearance this summer, going 2 shutout innings. The 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3, and Oropeza goes down for the first out of the inning. 3 strikeouts for Cortez. On the other end, the Cage Rats have struck out 4 times in 2 innings. Cortez, eyes first, comes home with it. Swung on and missed there by Ford. 0-1. Noah Ford from Compton College. You could see him chatting it up with some of the Cage Rats before the game. Some of the Compton College teammates. Takes a strike. 0-2. Quick check on the runner at first. Robles looks to apply the tag, but not in time. Very subdued atmosphere here today on a Monday afternoon. Runner going with 2 strikes. And he will get there sliding, but without a throw from Dupre. And a stolen base for Reddick. Ball in the dirt to Ford. They sent the runner with 2 strikes looking to gamble. Ford takes one low in the dirt. Perfect time. One of those situations where, hey, maybe you're expecting off speed, and they got it in the dirt. Runner at second with 1 out. Big lead, but Ford swings and misses for the second strikeout of the inning for Cortez. Now we turn the lineup over back to Rivera. Rivera reached on an E6. Came around and was retired at home plate for the first out of the first inning, but that started that inning as the first pitch is hacked to right field. Rawlings on the run into the corner. That one will hook just foul. Bidding for extra bases for a fly ball double. Instead, the wind, which is blowing in, maybe pushed it a foot or so foul in the corner. 0-1. Cortez set. Runner at second, 2 outs. 3-0, bottom of the second inning. The Cage Rats trail as the 0-1 sent to shallow center. Hernandez watches Rawlings call off Ramirez. And it's Kyle who makes that final catch to end the second inning. Cage Rats strand a runner, and they'll come up to head here in the top of the third. Down 3-0 on the Cage Rats Audio Network. Top of the third inning, the Cage-Rats trail by 3. The Signal Hill Oilers taking advantage of a defensive miscue, 1 or 2, in that first inning. Sloppy play led to an early lead and an early hole for the Cage-Rats. Here's Jacob Ramirez sitting in the spot where Carlos Vega started, but before he could even come up to hit, it's Ramirez taking his spot as the substitute. On deck is Calix Armijo, who hit his second home run of the summer yesterday. A loud line drive home run to left center that barely cleared the wall as Ramirez swings and misses at a ball in the dirt from Guzman. So the scheduled hitters are Ramirez, Armijo, and Daphner. They all have helmets and bats in their hands, so we'll keep it like they are going to hit as Ramirez takes upstairs 1-1. Guzman working on a perfect game so far through 2. 4 strikeouts. Both pitchers each have 4 as Ramirez takes inside. And I believe that's a strike. 1-2. Going down with strikes. One and two. Ramirez finally steps into the box. Cage-Rats looking for their first leadoff runner to get on. And he takes outside 2-2. Cage-Rats dugout looking to make some noise. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Fire themselves up after a quiet start. Ramirez takes low and inside. For sure this time. Count runs full. 8, 9, and 10. That 7, 8, and 9 do up in the lineup for the Cage-Rats in this inning. Before it turns over, it's a 3-2. Skips to home plate for ball 4. Ramirez reaches without a fight here with 2 strikes. Guzman walk after the fastball misses in the dirt. Guzman unhittable in the first 2 innings. Looking human, followed by a hit. Daphner squares the bunt, pulls back out, let him swing away. Looks like Joey Gold to come in for Rowan Dupre on deck. Long look from Guzman, comes home. Breaking ball called strike 3. Daphner goes down looking. And that's a backwards K, number 5 for Guzman. His first out of the inning, and here's Joey Gold, who was looking to get the day off, but comes in relief and will have to catch for the time being. Two on, 1 out here in the third. Big hit gets the Cage-Rats back in it. The pitch. Gold chops it right up the middle. This is fielded cleanly at second for 1. Throw to first. And it's an inning-ending 4-3 double play. And the Cage-Rats got 2 on with nobody out. Couldn't get the bunt down, and that's what happens. You hit into an inning-ending double play. And a promising inning is only promise. Nothing to show for it. Heading to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Oilers here on the Cage-Rats Audio Network. Bottom of the third, 3-0 Oilers. The Rats come up on defense. Cortez looking to get 3 innings of work complete. If he can get 3 outs, throws a first pitch strike to Guzman, his counterpart, who's just been a little bit better so far. A little bit of a better defense behind him today as Cortez misses upstairs 1-0. Cortez's 1-1 is a strike. 1-2. Guzman reached on a walk back in the first, came around to score the first run of the game. So far it's the deciding run as he's blanked the Cage Rats through 3. 1-2, swung on a miss, strike 3. First out of the inning. 5th strikeout for Cortez, so he's equaled Guzman in terms of blowing the ball past the opposing team. Just doesn't have the run support to show for it. Here's Diego Altamirano. Got hit by a pitch up in the head. The first pitch he saw in his last plate appearance. Cortez doesn't do that here. Fires it over the middle of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Altamirano, the lefty, against the lefty Cortez. Looking to swing away now. 0-1. Breaking ball, and that's just a little rude. You throw one up and in the first plate appearance. Fire one over the middle in the second at-bat first pitch. And then break it off like that. Altamirano swings and misses, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Cortez looking for back-to-back Ks. And he just misses outside. Looking to get the outside corner stretched a little bit, but it's 1-2. Cortez, ready, set, and that one's fouled away out towards, might be some softball fields and some football fields here at Cerrito High, maybe a track. Still 1-2 to Altamirano. For a big punch out is Cortez. That's lifted to right. And that one is hooking foul. Late break on it for Rawlings, fooling everybody. Nobody really knew where that ball went, but hit hard, hit loud, but not fair. Just a foul ball. 1-2. That's line down the left field line, but hooks foul at the last moment. Even Altamirano thought that was foul off the bat before he saw it hooking towards the line for a late break left of the foul line. So spraying the ball left to right, staying alive with 2 strikes. One and two, and Cortez having trouble putting away the starting catcher for the Oilers. This one lifted to center and caught by Hernandez for out number 2. Two one, misses low, 3-1. Here's the pitch from Cortez, and that one's hit towards third. Doffner can't field it cleanly, chops off his glove, ricochets right past Evandy Vega to his left, and rolls into shallow left. We'll see if that's ruled a hit or an error. Of course, I don't have the benefit of knowing. But reaching with 2 outs is Selby. One of those make it or break it plays. Low bouncing ball. Doffner at third just has to olay it. Can't get it. Cortez has that one swung on and missed. Gets past Gold behind the dish, who's the new catcher for Dupre. And that's the 0-1 pitch now to Hill. Advancing to second is Selby on a pass ball. So Gold comes in, allows a base runner to advance to second. So 2 outs here for Hill. Base hit here gives the Signal Hill team a 4-0 lead. as the 0-1 misses in the dirt, 1-1. Eyeing second is Cortez, comes home with it, breaking ball, that's for a strike, 1-2. For the moment, we might rule Hill's ball an error, or make that Selby's ball an error, until we get further confirmation. But here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside from Cortez to Hill, 2-2. But yes, no scoreboard that says whether it's hit or an out. Ball or strike, just gotta mentally pay attention. If you miss it, well, you missed the good stuff. That one's lifted to right. Rawlings ranging back in the corner and makes the catch for out number 3. Nobody was realizing how many outs there were, and right as I said, there's no scoreboard saying how many outs there are. Rawlings catches it, fires it back in, and everybody was confused whether there was 2 or 3 outs, but that's the third out. One reaches against Cortez, but he gets the third hitter to fly out to right. We'll step aside after 3 innings, 3-0. The Cage Rats trail heading to the top of the 4th on the Cage Rats Audio Network. Top of now the 4th inning here in Cerritos. Zach Anderson, Yoxheimer with you guys. Cage Rats trail 3-0 to Signal Hill. Pitch from Guzman, the ball upstairs to Julian Francois. The Cage Rats lineup finally turns all the way over. Not till the 4th inning. Francois looking to get on base for the first time today. Takes inside as that fastball skips past his toes like it's skipping across a lake. I tried to skip a rock across the ocean front at the beach yesterday. I failed miserably. But 2-0 to Francois. Was up in the count 3-1 before he struck out swinging to open the game in the top of the first. The 2-0. Francois fouls it back. 2-1. Francois yesterday, 2 bunt base hits. You hear him mentioning pregame, hey, I just need to get on base. I'm the leadoff guy, get on base. The Cage Rats need down 3, and he was squaring to bunt right there. Takes one up and in, 3-1. Same exact spot he was in his first at-bat. Do you square to bunt with a 3-1 count or just expect possible ball 4? Cortez has walked 1, and he throws it upstairs for ball 4, and the Cage Rats have another leadoff base runner here in the 4th. Cortez unhittable through 2. Gives up a base runner here through the 4th. Here's Josh Hernandez. Struck out looking on a breaking ball back in the first inning. Cage Rats trailing by 3. The tying run is on deck. Runner going. Francois, fastball upstairs on the pitch out. The throw into center field. Francois steals second. He's hustling for third, and he will get there standing up. The pitch was upstairs. It was good for Alta Moreno to handle it and throw to second, but Francois steals it anyway. High throw, skips into center. I thought Francois was gambling going to third, but that ball skipped far enough away from the infield and didn't get further enough into the outfield to allow a play at third. So Francois at third base with nobody out for Hernandez on a 1-0 count. Looking to bring home the first run of the game for the Cage Rats. And Hernandez sprays it foul. And the ball is going to maybe hit a truck. I'm not sure. I noticed the truck that got hit first did move. So 1-1 to Hernandez. Guzman closing in on what might be the end of his outing. Blows the fastball past the bat of Hernandez, 1-2. Standing on deck for the Cage Rats looks to be Jared Jeffrey in place of Faison, who got one at bat. Put the ball on the play in the first inning, but had nothing to show for it. 1-2 Hernandez. He chops it to short. This will score a run right to the shortstop, and he throws it to first to get out number one. It looked like the first baseman was off the bag in Selby, but he kept his foot down enough to retire Hernandez, but that brings home a run. Francois in to score, and the Cage Rats now trail by 2. So here's Jeffrey, who stands in. First out of the inning, 1 out, nobody on. Jeffrey sees a breaking ball, first pitch, and he swings at it, fouls it straight back. So you have Jeffrey followed by Tito Robles. Already not even 4 innings in the books, and we've had a whole slew of changes as Jeffrey turns in, takes a strike, another breaking ball. 0-2. The 0-2 from Guzman, another breaking ball, and that's called strike 3. Jeffrey goes down looking. They threw 3 benders there. Disrespectful, I'd say. You come off the bench, and it's breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. At least lighten up the load a little bit. Throw him 1 fastball. I guess not. That's the competitive aspect of the game, I guess. 6th strikeout for Guzman as he faces Tito Robles. And he lines into left center. That one will get down for a 2-out knock as Robles smacks the cover off the ball for that one. And a single gives the Cage Rats a 2-out base runner and brings the tying run up in the form of Andy Vega. 6 Ks for Guzman through 3 2/3. Vega lined out to center in his first at-bat. Can one of the rating players of the week in the Sunset League come up big again. Outfield's playing shallow, and he takes a fastball upstairs as the Cage Rats dugout looks to wake up a little bit more now. 3-1 our score. The Rats down by 2. The Rat Patrol manning the dugout right now for the Cage Rats as the fastball misses outside 2-0. 3 changes as Jeffrey came in to hit for Faison. You have Jacob Ramirez in for Vega and Gold in for Dupre. 3 changes already, and maybe 1 on the mound pretty soon for Cortez. His day might be close to being done. Vega takes a 2-0 pitch for a strike. There is an Oiler warming up in the bullpen. So we'll see who's first in line to finish up after Guzman. The pitch to Vega. Breaking ball misses inside, 3-1. This is a spot where if you're Vega, sit on something, hammer it in the gap, score a run. Guzman looks at first to Robles, the 3-1. Vega goes after a high fastball, hits it straight back behind the cages here, and out of play, 3-2. Robles will be off with the pitch with 2 outs. So if Vega can find a hole and gap it to the outfield, maybe find one down the line. Robles, he's on his horse, will score. Cage Rats down 2 runs now after getting one back. Here in the top of the 4th. Vega on the 3-2. Guzman comes home, breaking ball. Misses upstairs for ball 4. Robles will chop it up and stop at second. Here's Kyle Rawlings' turn to keep the line moving. Rawlings, one of those 6 strikeout victims of Guzman so far in the first 8 outs he's recorded. Robles at second. Vega after earning the 2-out walk at first. Rawlings steps up, meeting on the mound for the Oilers. We'll see if Guzman's day is done. Now just gets a slap on the rear, says, "Go get him, Tiger." Guzman ready. Rawlings getting his chat from head coach Joe Magno. Probably something along the like of, hey, we don't need a 3-run home run. Just line drive, keep the line moving. Outfield playing deep in right field, so a base hit to right could score 1. Robles just needs a big secondary lead with nobody looking to mess with him there. Rawlings takes a strike just below the kneecaps. Fastball from Guzman. Last 2 hitters have seen 3 and 2 counts. As Rawlings takes upstairs 1-0. Counts 1-1. 2 outs, 2 on. Cage Rats down by 2 here in the 4th. The pitch. Rawlings chops it to second. Fielded cleanly. Slow underhanded feed to second in time for the out. A 4-6 put out in the Cage Rats. Strand a pair. After 3.5 innings, we head to the bottom of the 4th. The Cage Rats down 3-1. They get one back. And that might be the day for Guzman. So get one back. Maybe find some life in the bottom of the order when they come up in the 5th. But the Cage Rats down by 2. Cortez looking to finish off 4 innings when we return on the Cage Rats Audio Network. Bottom of the 4th, 3-1 Signal Hill, and the first pitch from Cortez is skied to the second baseman Ramirez, who will make the catch for out number 1. Before we can even mention his name, it's Marcus Johnson. First pitch swinging, comes up empty. And already 1 out here in the 4th. One of these shutdown innings needed by your pitcher. Right now it's Rafael Cortez who needs a big shutdown inning. His team gets him a run after some sloppy defensive play in the early going. That first pitch is now hit into right field for a 1-out single by Raul Gonzalez. So first pitch swinging are these Oilers, one for an easy pop-up and another one for a hit to right. So 1 out, 1 on. Now here's Reddick. Worked the walk back in his last plate appearance. And he's first pitch swinging too. That's to right. Rawlings retreats, makes the catch by his left hip, and gets the second out of the inning. 3 pitches by Cortez, 2 pop-ups, and 1 single. You just wonder, is Oropeza going to swing at the first pitch as well with 2 outs? I'm not sure Joe Magno will stretch Cortez going 5, but who knows. Comes up, and that's swung on and missed. 4 hitters, 4 swings at the first pitch, 3 of them put in play. That one squirted away from goal, but not far enough away for Gonzalez to go to second. 2 outs, runner at first. Cortez blows it past the bat of Oropeza, the extra hitter, and it's 0-2. Looking for strikeout number 5 is Cortez, and he misses arm side and high from the lefty into the lefty's batter's box against the righty Oropeza, 1-2. Runner going with 2 strikes, but Oropeza has other ideas as he fouls it off the screen, 1-2. (3-1) our score, Signal Hill leading by 2. There was an Oiler warming up in the bullpen in the top of the 4th, so I think Guzman's day is done. And that's a breaking ball, called strike 3, backdoor. Cortez, 5 Ks through 4 innings. An easy, quick inning despite giving up a 1-out single. We'll see if his day is done, but through 4, K-Drats trailing by 2, heading to the top of the 5th on the K-Drats Audio Network. Top of the 5th inning, K-Drats trailing 3-1 to the Signal Hill Oilers. Couple of changes as the first pitch thrown in to Jacob Ramirez is a strike to give you guys. For the Oilers, now on the mound, Josh Garcia, incoming freshman, facing off against Ramirez, looking to protect a 2-run lead for the K-Drats here in the top of the 5th. 2-run lead for the Oilers, against the K-Drats as he misses with the 1-1 to Ramirez. One ball, 1 strike, the second at-bat and plate appearance for Ramirez today. Here's the pitch. Ramirez takes inside 2-1. Worked a walk in his first plate appearance, was the first runner to reach against Guzman in the 3rd. Eventually came around and was left on the bases. The K-Drats did score in the 4th. Already close to halfway through this one, as Ramirez takes a mighty swing but fouls it back off the screen, 2-2. Ramirez, Armijo, and Daphner, the 3 scheduled hitters for the Cage Rats. New catcher for the Oilers as well, Xavier Mendoza. 2 strikes. Ramirez takes outside 3-2. Eerily similar to the first plate appearance for Ramirez, but a good AB quality. He gets on. That brings up Calix Armijo as the tying run to the plate. Second on the team in home runs with 2. Ramirez takes ball 4, and the Cage Rats have another leadoff base runner. 3rd consecutive inning that the leadoff hitter has reached. Twice it's been Jacob Ramirez. The last time Ramirez had a 3-2, he walked. Calix followed it up with a 1-pitch swing, first pitch swing, and singled it to right. Looks to be hitting in Daphner's spot is Jabri Walden on deck. We'll see how they switch up the defense as Calix lays down the bunt, but chops it foul into the home dugout down the third base line, 0-1. Looking to force the Oiler defense to have a little bit more action on the infield. They've been pretty clean defensively so far. The Cage Rats at times have been shoddy defensively, and that's hurt them again today. 2 wild pitches, which of course not defensive hurts, but hurt the pitcher. Runner not going as Calix takes a strike, 0-2. 2 infield errors, 1 at short, 1 at second, and that's what's really led to this 3-1 lead for the Oilers here in the early going. Now, halfway through, as we lose our tense with a mighty gust of winds. Calix takes upstairs 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Armijo. Runner at first is Ramirez. Nobody out here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and Armijo just slaps it foul down the third base line. Josh Garcia, the youngster, looks pretty young on the mound. Looking to get through a much older roster for the Cage Rats. Calix battling here with 2 strikes. Runner not going, and Armijo swings and misses, tips it into the glove for out number 1. 7th strikeout the Cage Rats have had offensively. 1 out, 1 on, and here's Jabri Walden. Official switch has been made as Daphner's day is done. We'll see. We'll see how things work out offensively as Walden takes low 1-0 from the youngster Garcia. Uncommitted so far. Walden yesterday had an RBI single on a ground ball to left that scored Francois later in the game. The pitch, and that's line to right field. This one will get down on a hop. Walden has to hurry, and he gets there safely, throwing into second base, but it was hit so hard Walden had to still run to first, even with speed. And now another hit for the Cage Rats. And there's 2 on with 1 out. Here's Joey Gold. Some unlikely offense potentially here at the bottom of the order for the Cage Rats, as you have some dangerous hitters hitting at the lower part of the order due to some late switches after the starters, 4 of them, have been already taken out here in the 5th for the Cage Rats. Here's Gold. 2 on, 1 out here in the 5th. Down by 2. First pitch to Gold. Breaking ball is a strike. Gold in his last at-bat saw the first pitch from Guzman and bounced into an inning-ending double play. 4-3. That ended the 3rd. Gold. Here's the pitch. Lifts it to deep left field and way foul. 0-2 to Gold. After Gold hits, it'll be the top of the order with Julian Francois. And you wonder, one thing Gold just can't do is hit into a double play, especially with speed with Francois and Josh Hernandez in the hole. 3-1 our score, top of the fifth, Oilers lead. Big hit from Gold can tie things up if he finds some real estate in the outfield. Here's the pitch with 2 strikes, and Gold chops it right to shortstop, and he fields it, steps on the bag at second to first. Not in time to get Gold at first. So Walden retired at second, nearly hit into his second ground ball double play of the day, but now runners at the corners with 2 outs, and here's Julian Francois. So 2 outs, first and third. Francois struck out swinging and reached on a walk, came around to score. Takes a first pitch for a strike from Garcia. Josh Hernandez on deck. This is the spot for the Cage Rats now. You have a chance to at least get one more back here in the fifth. Might as well do it. Garcia, as Francois lifts it to left. And that one is caught in left field. Francois didn't even know where it was going, but a diving catch in left field. That one made by Ford. Late tailing action. As that ends the top of the fifth, the Cage Rats strand 2. And after 4.5, halfway home, 3-1 Oilers heading to the bottom of the fifth on the Cage Rats Audio Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, here we are. First pitch from Rafael Cortez, who's still on the mound. Cage Rats trailing 3-1. And I believe this will be Cortez's last inning. As Ford fouled the first one away, takes low for ball 1, 1-1. 10-9-1 due up for 10-1-2, due up for the Oilers, up by 2 here in the bottom of the fifth. Ford swings and fouls the ball off at the plate, 1-2. Ford, Rivera, and Guzman. Cortez, who had a 6-pitch fourth inning, sees that one lined into the glove on one hop to Vega, fires across the diamond, and that's 1 out here in this fifth inning. David Rivera, the shortstop, steps in. Played a clean game defensively. Reached on an error, flew out to right. Hasn't come up since the second inning. It's third AB. He takes upstairs 1-0. Third chance to face Cortez. The 1-0 is poked, foul out of play, 1-1. And I think it's another car. So our car tracker is at 2. So it looks like we're at 2 cars hit so far today. As the breeze picks up, that one hit out the very end of the bat by Rivera, poked foul. 1 and 2. So anything hit by a right-handed hitter, foul, out of play, it can hit one part of the parking lot, take a huge carom off the ground, and bounce anywhere and hit a car. As the 1-2 from Cortez, breaking ball in the dirt, gets through the legs of Gold, but it's a ball, 2 and 2. One out, nobody on here in the 5th. K-Drats down by 2, 3-1. 3 first-inning runs for the Oilers have held up thus far. The pitch is chopped right back at Andy Vega at short. Little pump in the glove, fires to first, and he retires his counterpart at first base for the second out of the inning. This would be the second longest outing for a K-Drat pitcher this season. Cortez looking to make it 5 innings complete. The K-Drats can come up with 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning. He would qualify for the win. Well, that's asking a lot so far. As Cortez fires upstairs to Guzman, and that's ball 1. One to 0. Guzman today 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a run scored. Takes again upstairs 2-0. Hitting on deck is Xavier Mendoza in the spot of Alta Moreno. As the 2-0 is fouled straight back, 2-1. That is the first and second switch for the Oilers. Guzman removed from the mound, but hitting right now. As the 2-1 is cut on and missed, 2-2. Cortez looking for strikeout number 6 through 5 innings. But the 2-2 well upstairs, not even close. Nothing to sniff at. Guzman says, no, I'm good. I am good. 3-2, Cortez, what could be the final pitch of his outing today. Here we go. Called strike 3. No, that just is outside. Looked like the umpire was going to do a little dance, and he said outside. Ball 4. That was close to where he's called it earlier this evening. But Guzman earns the 2-out walk. Here's Xavier Mendoza, who officially checks in to hit. Guzman at first. Had a good start through 4 innings. Gave up 1 run. Takes off. Pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second. The tag applied. Not in time as Guzman steals second. That's what happens. You walk anybody and they're a threat to steal or advance a base. And next thing you know, it's basically a double. You walk. Can't get the call. He steals second. Mendoza did swing and miss, so it's 0-1. Cortez fires a fastball at the knees right through the heart of the plate, knifes through for a strike. A base hit here for Mendoza would give the K-Drats a 3-run lead. Runner goes. Stepping off is Cortez, and Robles gets the throw and runs down the runner and tags him out. The runner was looking to break early. Cortez, who hadn't even started his movement, steps off. Got the call to step off, threw it to third to Robles, who runs down the base runner, and he's picked off in between second and third. So we end 5. Cortez, through 5 strong innings, picks off his counterpart, or his former counterpart, and now we head to the top of the 6th. 3-1, the Oilers lead here on the K-Drats Audio Network. Top of the sixth inning, Cage-Rats trailing 3-1. Zach Anderson, Yoxheimer with you guys on hand here at the home of the Signal Hill Oilers at Cerritos High School. Josh Garcia starting his second inning of work, throws a first pitch strike to Josh Hernandez. 2, 3, and 4 do it for the Cage-Rats, down by 2. They need a couple to get into it, as Hernandez takes low, ball 1. Hernandez, Jeffrey, and Robles looking to get on against the freshman Garcia, and he drops in another curveball for a strike, 1-2. Can't see the bullpen for the Cage-Rats, so unsure as to who is warming up and when. All I know is that Cortez should be done after 5. Garcia's 1-2 as Hernandez takes a fastball above his head, 2-2. RBI ground out drove in the only run for the Cage-Rats back in the 4th inning. That's where we stand, 3-1. 3 in the first for the Oilers, 1 in the 5th for the Rats, and in the 6th, it's a ball low in the dirt, 3-2 actually, a run in the 4th for the Cage-Rats. Cage-Rats stranded a pair back in the 5th. Garcia's 3-2, and Hernandez chops it to third, fielded cleanly, fired across the diamond for out number 1. 5-3 pickup right there for Hill over to Selby. And there's 1 out of the inning. Hard hit there by Hernandez, nothing to show for it. 0 for 3 so far. Here's Jared Jeffrey. Steps up, swings at the first pitch low in the dirt, and just gets a piece of it. Hits it foul, though, 0-1. Robles, who's standing on deck, hit a loud line drive single in his last at-bat. That was against Guzman. Jeffrey takes this one low, 1-1. Already another arm potentially warming up for the Oilers. So it might be the formula for 4, 2, and 2 as Jeffrey turns in on a fastball but takes a called strike, 1-2. The 1-2 from Garcia, and Jeffrey hits it weakly in the infield. Garcia fields it cleanly, has to fire to first, and a great play as he whips it across to first base and gets the second out of the inning. That ball just died on the infield, so he had to pick it up, turn, fire to first in one motion. Of course, as a righty, that's easy to do. You pick it up, turn, pivot your foot, easy throw to first base. As a lefty, that's a much tougher play, like for Cortez. But Garcia gets the second out of the inning, and now 2 outs, nobody on for Robles. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Garcia. This is upstairs to Robles again, 2-0. Loud breeze as Robles takes upstairs 3-0. 3 straight out of the zone. It's funny how a pitcher can get 2 quick outs. Medium hit ground balls or weakly chopped ground balls back to the box, and all of a sudden just throw 3 straight out of the zone for no reason. Robles, 3-0 green light, comes up empty. 3-1. Saw a fastball he liked. Couldn't feast on it. Garcia again. And Robles chops it foul, 3-2. That nearly hits a car. Maybe hits 1 or 2 there. So our car counter should be 3 or 4. Might have hit 5 cars so far in this game alone, just on foul balls. But Robles on the 3-2 with 2 outs, nobody on here in the 6th. Garcia. Called strike 3 at the knees. Fastball dots it, crosses T's, writes his signature all over it, and a 1-2-3 inning for the youngster. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, the Oilers lead by 2, 3-1 on the KDRATS Audio Network. Bottom of the 6th, here we go. KDRATS trailing by 2, 3-1. And the first pitch by none other than Rafael Cortez misses for a ball inside, 1-0. Here's Xavier Mendoza, who saw 2 pitches out of the zone before the base runner on base, Guzman, was picked off. The 1-0 was popped into the edge of the infield, caught by Jacob Ramirez at second base. First out for Cortez. So Mendoza's first official plate appearance results in a pop-up to second. The catcher lumbers back to the dugout, getting his first AB later in the game than he would have liked. Here's Selby, who's had somewhat of a busy day at first, takes upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Funny enough for the Oilers, against Cortez, they only have a couple of hits. That one's popped up to right. This is Walden, who will make the catch in right field. Some defensive switches we didn't mention last inning. Tito Robles moves from first to third. Rawlings in from right to first. Walden, who came in for Doffner, in his spot is in right field. So 2 outs for Cortez. And the first pitch to Hill is a called strike at the knees, 0-1. Looking to equal Yamamoto's effort yesterday with 6 innings thrown. Here's the 0-1 as the longest outing of the season for a KDRAT pitcher as he misses, skips it in the dirt, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on, 3-1, bottom of the 6th inning, and that one's skied straight up. Gold giving chase, Rawlings giving chase, and this one will get out behind us down the first base line. Doesn't hit a car, but it is out of play, 1-2. From our count, only 1 hit so far from the Oilers, but 3 runs. That's the difference between some shoddy defense and some error-prone pitchers. As the 1-2 is lifted to deep center, giving chase as Hernandez on his horse into dead center will make the catch, camping under it, lighting a campfire, and making some barbecue out there too. Had enough time to do all those 3 things as that one was crushed, but the speedy Hernandez makes the catch in a 1-2-3 inning for Cortez. Joe Magno saying, all right, attaboy, kid. That's the efficiency at its finest. 6 strong innings, a quality start, second in a row for the KDRATS, but they're still trailing 3-1, heading to the final 3 innings of the ball game. Top 7 when we return. KDRATS trailing by 2. Top of the 7th inning, Cage Rats trailing 3-1 to the Signal Hill Oilers here at Cerritos High School. Zach Anderson-Yoxhammer with you guys on the call. Here's Andy Vega, the team's hottest hitter, stepping up to lead off in this 7th inning against Josh Garcia, who starts him off with a breaking ball. Vega swings and misses. 0-1. Vega, Rawlings, and Ramirez. Ramirez, the lone Cage Rat to reach multiple times today. Vega looking to do so for the first time today. Lines it up the middle. This will go to second, and he can't field it cleanly. Had a chance to make the play, bobbled it on the transfer, and Vega reaches. Not sure if that was a single or an error, but whatever happens, the Cage Rats have their first runner on here for the 4th consecutive inning. Did I get that right? No. 3 of the last 4 innings the Cage Rats have had their leadoff hitter get on. Here's Kyle Rawlings as the tying run at the plate. Takes a fastball upstairs, 1-0. Rawlings, Ramirez, and Calix Armijo in the hole. Down by 2. Here in the 7th against Josh Garcia. The pitch is a fastball upstairs, 2-0. Garcia, this might be his last hitter or 2. And they're motioning down to the bullpen to see if their pitcher is ready, saying, all right, hurry it up, hurry it up. Got to get ready, get hot in a moment, because this guy is done as far as Garcia. But he could get a double play. The 2-0 is grounded to the first base side and fielded, and the runner advances to second. Vega is running on the pitch. Rawlings retired at first, so Vega down to second. So 1 out. They had the hit and run on with a 2-0 count. Rawlings grounds out to first base. So 1 out, runner at second base with Jacob Ramirez up. He's walked twice, has not scored, despite being the lone Cage Rat to get on a couple of times. This will be his second chance against Garcia. First pitch swinging, fouls it towards the left side of the screen, towards the home dugout, 0-1. Both times was down in the count 3-2. Got it to 3-2 and then earned the walk to lead off the inning. This time looking for a base hit to get the Cage Rats within 1. Garcia, as Ramirez thought about hitting that fastball, eases up and takes a called strike. Now here he is again in the hole, 0-2. Was loading up, turning those hips, ready to fire through the baseball. Instead, couldn't come up with anything as he held up at the last moment. Here comes probably an 0-2 breaking ball, and instead Ramirez pops up the 0-2 in foul territory down the left field line, and good chase by a trio of Oilers, but they did not strike for gold. That's just a foul ball for a strike, still 0-2 to Ramirez. Oh and 2, Ramirez battling with Andy Vega, who reached after a ground ball was muffed at second base. Not sure if it was ruled a hit or an error, but he's at second base with now 1 out, 0-2. Ramirez takes called strike 3, and there's now 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Ramirez took one on the outside corner, and now it's up to Calix Armijo, who has a single today and a strikeout. We'll see which Calix we get this time. 3 straight plate appearances for the Cage Rats with the tying run on base. Vega eyeing the outfielder, seeing how far he needs to get a big lead before he can score on a base hit. Calix takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. One of those times where you have Vega in your line of sight at second base, just dancing back and forth. Playing cat and mouse with the shortstop and second baseman. Looking to get a bigger lead. Maybe that affected Calix's chance to swing at that first pitch breaking ball. Runner going on the 0-1, but Armijo fouls it straight back, 0-2. And Vega had a great jump at second base, but Calix saw something he liked, just couldn't put it in play, 0-2. 0-2, 2 outs. Runner at second. Cage Rats trail by 2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Garcia looked like he was done, and now he might get through the whole inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, outside, 1-2. Armijo lets it go. One and two. Armijo, if he reaches, there's Jabri Walden on deck, who has a single to his credit in his last and only at bat of the game so far. Garcia. I second, comes home with it. Vega runs, misses upstairs to throw to third, not in time. As stealing third is Vega. It's now 2-2 to Armijo. Vega with a stolen base to third. So a wild pitch here scores a run, but of course Armijo would love to drive him in with a base hit of his own. 2-2. 2 outs, runner at third, 90 feet away from getting within a run closer. Garcia swings and misses in the dirt. Here's the play. Mendoza throws it to first, and that will retire the strikeout as Calix was hustling down the line, just could not get there in time. Cage Rats trying to lead off base runner after they had Garcia on the ropes. And through 6.5, it's time to stretch here in Cerritos. 3-1, the Cage Rats trailing on the Cage Rats Audio Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, Cage Rats still trailing by 2. 3-1 to the Signal Hill Oilers. And officially with that pitch in the bottom of the 7th, it's Cortez with the longest outing this summer. Maybe that'll be broken, but he's gone 6+ innings. And it's 0-1 now to Marcus Johnson. The 0-2 is fouled straight back, 0-2. Johnson, when he last came up in the 4th inning, was in that string of 3 to 4 at-bats where the Oilers had 4 straight hitters swing at the first pitch. Johnson popped up. Gonzalez, who's on deck, hit a single. Reddick, they fly ball to right as the 0-2 is popped up in foul territory. Gold looking for it, has to come back to it and can't make the catch as he falls straight back, giving extra life here to Johnson. Pounds the glove in frustration. Maybe the wind and sightline playing tricks on his eyes. But Johnson comes back with some extra life after what should have been out number 1. Extends the at-bat. But it was Johnson, Gonzalez, Reddick, and Oropeza all swinging at the first pitch. 4 consecutive hitters for an easy inning for Cortez. The pitch is swung on a miss. Strike 3, another strikeout for Cortez. And the first out of the inning here in the 7th. 6 1/3, and Cortez looking to add on to more. As here's Raul Gonzalez. Today 1 for 2 with the strikeout. A base hit in his last at-bat. Tips it into the glove for strike 1. Gonzalez will lift that one into right field, but hooking, and way foul. 0-2. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup for the Cage Rats. Here's the pitch. And, for the Oilers as Cortez fires the 0-2 outside, 1-2. Nice steady breeze here today. The sun, based on where the field is, if you're a fan, especially down the first base line, staring in the sun the whole game, as the 0-2 is called strike 3, another K for Cortez. Backwards there for Raphael, and there's now 2 outs. And that's 8 strikeouts now for Cortez over 6 2/3. First pitch, that one's poked foul and out of play down the first base line to Reddick, 0-1. Eight strikeouts and looking for more as the 0-1 thrown in the dirt, 1-1. Cage Rats in the 8th. We'll have Walden, Gold, and Francois, the 3 scheduled hitters, looking to spark the offense one final time as they're down to their final 6 outs. Cortez has hurled a good game as he misses in the dirt, 2-1. To my official count, he's only given up 1 hit. Depending on which plays were ruled what, but there's a ground ball to short. Andy Vega backhands it, and he will not field it cleanly, and I think that might be an infield single to Reddick. Right as I say, he hasn't given up any hits in a while. There he goes with a ground ball in the hole. And Reddick comes in to hit and reaches. Hitting for the Oilers is Edgar Lorenzo in Oropeza's spot. So Lorenzo in the EH spot, runner going. That pitch is spiked in the ground, and the throw is 2 hop to second base from Gold. Not sure if he was trying to throw it to Cortez or throw it all the way down. Seemed to be in between. But Lorenzo now with the runner in scoring position at second base with 2 outs. Cage Rats trail by 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. That's chopped to second base. Actually make that Rawlings gets it. He'll run to the first base bag. That's picked up by Cortez, and he drops it, and a run comes in to score. Rawlings was hustling to first, thought he was going to run for it. Instead threw at the last moment to Cortez, who drops it, and that allows the runner to score from second base. It's now 4-1 Oilers, and another Cage Rat mistake comes back to bite them. It's 4-1 in the 7th. So Reddick steals second, comes all the way around to score. And a first pitch strike to the new hitter, George Sonora. Cage Rats have had more hits, more runners on base, but have not cashed in as the runner goes. Swung on and missed by Sonora. Gold to second. The throw, Vega can't hold on to it as it was short hopped into second base. Would have been a quick grab and tag. Instead, couldn't pick it at second. And another stolen base, this time for Lorenzo. We'll make it an E1, I believe, on the play at first. As Sonora pops this one out of play, 0-2. So runner at second again with 2 outs. The Cage Rats have given up 4 runs, all unearned. Cortez has battled through as that one swung on a miss in the dirt. Gold asking for his first baseman Rawlings to be on the inside, throws it down to first, and that completes the 9th strikeout through 7 innings for Cortez. 4 runs, all unearned. As we head to the top of the 8th, the Cage Rats trailing by 3, 4-1. And we'll see how the Cage Rats do it. New hitter coming up when we come back as the Cage Rats trail by 3 into the later stages in the Cage Rats Audio Network. Top of the 8th inning. Signal Hill leading the Cage Rats 4-1 here in the 8th. Here's Jabri Walden stepping in, 1 for 1 today. 9-10-1 to up for the Cage Rats. Marcellus Henry from LBCC steps on the mound, the third pitcher of the day for the Oilers. Meanwhile, the Cage Rats have only had one arm throw today through 7 innings. Cortez has given up 4 unearned runs. All those coming with 2 outs. But here's Walden. First pitch, Walden chops up the middle. Fielded to Rivera, to Hopper. Clean throw, and that's across the diamond for out number 1. Name of the game is just clean defense. That's the difference. The Cage Rats have made about 3 to 4 errors, depending on what's been ruled a hit or an error, and I don't have those official rulings next to me. But a minimum of 3 errors have allowed the Cage Rats to give up 4 unearned runs over 7 innings. Here's Joey Gold with 1 out, nobody on against Marcellus Henry, and he takes a ball low, 1-0. They'll need a couple to get on in order to spark a comeback. Henry's 1-0 is fouled off of Mendoza, who asked for time and needs a moment or two to recollect himself. Gold today has come up twice with runners on base, grounded into a 4-3 inning-ending double play, and nearly did the same in the 5th inning, but beat out the throw to first on a 6-4 fielder's choice. Henry's long 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt. 2-1. You had Garcia, who was pretty quick on the mound. Then Guzman really didn't take his time either, but Henry now likes to see the sign. Comes set, change up his rhythm. Lift his leg slowly, fire home, and throws it in the dirt, but it swung on a miss, 2-2. Francois on deck, looking to get up to the plate with at least one guy on base, Gold. Behind the 8 ball with 2 strikes, and swings and misses for another strikeout. 2 outs, nobody on as Francois steps to the dish. The 11th strikeout for Cage Rat hitting, as Francois 0 for 2 today. Reached on a walk and scored the only run of the game. That was back in the 4th inning. Cage Rats down by 3 here in the 8th. Looking to start a last-minute rally. Francois takes low, ball 1. Francois, we'll see if he finds a spot to bunt. Third baseman playing in at the grass. Second baseman, where Francois pulled one yesterday, playing back on the outfield grass as Francois takes low, 2-0. If he gets on, it'll be Bitterman to hit next. Ezra Bitterman would be his first AB for the Cage Rats this summer. Henry's long 2-0 pause and fires it in for a strike to Francois, 2-1. Francois came up with runners in the corners last time up and flew out to left. Was robbed by a base hit of his counterpart Ford as Francois takes inside with the fastball, 3-1. And as soon as Francois potentially gets on base, he's an immediate threat to steal. Already has 1 stolen base today. 3-1. Francois takes low in the dirt, ball 4. Reaches to first. Here's number 57, Ezra Bitterman. A bright spirit bouncing around from the dugout getting foul balls, probably the loudest in the dugout. The always chatty Bitterman steps up to the plate, choking up on the bat. Runner at first base in Francois with 2 outs here in the 8th. K-Drats need 1 more to get on as the tying run. Francois goes. He takes low in the dirt. Francois slides in safely for his second stolen base of the day. So 1-0 to Bitterman. Now he has a runner in scoring position to drive in. But his first mission is, hey, just saw Francois take 4 out of the last 5 pitches out of the zone. He's taken one himself low. 5 out of the last 6 have missed the zone and missed the mark from Henry. Francois, big lead at second. He breaks for third, and that's Bitterman who lifts it to right. This one is playable, but caught for out number 3. Francois was on the move. Bitterman got something to hit well. Stung it, but right in the glove of the right fielder. So after 7.5 innings, K-Drats trailing by 3 heading to the bottom of the 8th. Need to put up 1 more 0 before they come up to hit in the 9th inning, trailing by 3 on the K-Drats Audio Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-1 Oilers over the K-Drats. Finally a new pitcher for the K-Drats as the first pitch is cut on and missed by David Rivera. Top of the order due up for the Oilers as it's Xavier Stewart in to pitch. His first pitch was a strike, 0-1. 9 strikeouts over 7 innings as the 0-1 is spoiled backwards off the screen. 7 innings of work for Rafael Cortez. Might come in a losing effort, 4 unearned runs as the breaking ball from Stewart hits Rivera in the back on the 0-2 and hits him, and a leadoff runner on for the Oilers. So it's Guzman to hit. He reached on a walk, then got picked off his last time. Walked in his first plate appearance, came around to score, but was struck out swinging back in the 3rd. So 2 reaches via a walk, 0 for 1 officially, and takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Stewart, who threw wildly to first base a few times against the Sliders last week when he appeared in the game. There was a fastball for a strike on the inside corner, 0-2 to Guzman. So we'll see if the Sliders' errors. He made it 3 out of the inning. When we return, the K-Drats down for the final 3 outs, 4-1 on the K-Drats Audio Network. Top of the ninth inning, the Cage Rats down 4-1 to the Signal Hill Oilers. It's up to Marcellus Henry to shut the door and earn his team the save. What would be the final 6 outs if he complete it? It would be a waste of an effort from Rafael Cortez for the Cage Rats, who went 7 innings and struck out 9. And Stewart did a good job keeping the lead where it is for the Oilers in the bottom of the 8th inning, saying, hey, let's get out of a jam. So here's Faison back to hit. Fouled out, grounded out to first in the first inning. But here he is in his second at-bat. All the way here in the 9th inning. There's pinch hit 4 by Jared Jeffrey. Now comes back in as the DH. Looking to get on to start the inning here in the 9th. Henry working out of the stretch. Long pause, comes home, and throws in the dirt 1-0. So Faison re-entering. It's Faison, Robles, and Andy Vega. 3, 4, and 5 due up. A trio of hitters you would love to come up when you're down 3 with guys on. Faison hits it hard, off the ground. Long throw in the hole, and that is not in time as that throw skips away from the first baseman. That is Sensoris, who is stretching for it. Long throw from Rivera, and Faison reaches to first to lead off the inning. Here we go. And finally, a defensive miscue from the Oilers. Robles is up. Only takes one more to get on to bring up the tying run. Although wind blowing in, nothing has been stung well enough to leave the yard. So we'll take a bunch of base hits and some miscues. And timely hitting for the Cage Rats here in the 9th. Faison dives back to first as the pickoff from Henry not in time. Faison crushed it. That was a loud snap of the bat. Well in the 5-6 hole, but Rivera couldn't get the arm strength enough over to first. And Robles takes outside 1-0. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Of course, the Cage Rats would love to strike for 4 as there are ties in Sunset League play. The Oilers already have 1 this season. Here's the 1-0. That misses low in the dirt. Mendoza loses it, and going down to second base is Faison with a swan dive into second base. Now 2-0. So Robles up in the count 2-0. Runner at second base, nobody out, but they're trailing by 3. Looking for a big pitch to hit here, maybe look for ball 3. Henry's 2-0 is hit high and deep to right center. This will be in play and caught for out number 2. Faison looking to tag. He slides in safely to third base. Robles flies out to deep right field, but got under it for out number 1. A long throw from right field. Couldn't get Faison at third. Now it's up to Vega to try and get on and bring up the tying run in the form of Kyle Rawlings on deck. 4-1. Now the Cage Rats finally look alive. Maybe a little bit too late here today. It's a game that's taken all of 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to what could be the final couple of outs. Faison at third with 1 out, Henry. The pitch, and Vega takes upstairs 1-0. Robles found a pitch to hit it as high and as hard as any ball that's been hit today, but hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark here at Cerritos High. And just missed hitting a 2-run home run. Vega. He slaps it foul down the right field line. This one will get out of play and foul 1-1. It's Rawlings, and if anybody else reaches, it'll be Ramirez. Henry doesn't have to really pay attention to Faison at third, with his team sporting him a 3-run lead. Vega takes inside, hops out of the way of it, 2-1. 2-1 the count to Vega. Looking to live up to the first week Player of the Week award from the Sunset League. Chops it foul down the third base line. It's now 2-2. Of course, the better stats you put up, the better your team plays. More likely you'll be able to play in the Sunset League All-Star game. That is right after the 4th of July, I believe on July the 7th. 2-2 now to Vega. Only one out. Tying run in the on-deck circle. Vega swings and misses at a ball out of the zone. Went chasing, went fishing, and came up empty. 2 outs. Henry feasted on the over-aggression there from Vega. Just put in the other batter's box. Now the K-Drats down to their final out. As here's Rawlings up. Henry. That one chopped to third. Here's the play. And that's whiffed at third. The throw from short. Not in time. As Rawlings beats it out, it went under the third baseman's glove. Rivera picked it up. Threw it to first. Did not get Rawlings, so nearly a 5-6-3 play to end the game, but the K-Drats score a run and keep the game alive. Coming into scorer's phase zone, it's now 4-2. Reaching first is Rawlings, and he will be pitch run for. As Jacob Ramirez steps in as the tying run with 2 outs. Doesn't look like much home run pop out of the bat of him, so it's up to Ramirez to get on base. That was Nick Hill at third. Had that ball go right under his glove, and Rivera backing him up at short. Nearly made what would have been a heroic effort for the final out. Instead, the K-Drats stay alive for one more hitter. And it looks like the K-Drats need a pinch runner. Stewart was looking to run, but since he's pitching, he cannot run. Everybody's going back and forth, looking to see who can run. Nobody's confused as to who can run. Yelling up and down the dugout as to who can run. Still waiting to see who can be a pinch runner. Shouldn't be this hard to see who can run. And finally, and I mean finally, they get somebody out there. And it's Michael Stevens to finally pinch run with 2 outs in for Kyle Rawlings. Here's Jacob Ramirez now after the little delay. 2 outs, tying run at the plate, 4-2. And Henry misses upstairs with an arm side fastball. Kind of dipped his elbow a little bit. And misses well outside, 1-0 to the lefty Ramirez. 4-2 Oilers lead here in the 9th. K-Drats down to their final out. Looking to get the tying run on base and in scoring position. Ramirez swings through a good fastball, 1-1. Pulled his head a little bit there. Outfield playing shallow except in right. So it'll be tough for Ramirez to find somewhere to hit a gap on the pull side. Check over at first. No tag applied on the base runner Stevens, who was the lucky hero to finally go and pinch run. The entire dugout was looking left and right as who can pinch run. And Coach Magnos used a bunch of his players today that have been here. There's only a certain number of guys eligible to run. Henry's 1-1, misses inside, 2-1. Battle cry and baseball cliche of next guy up, keep the line moving, move the chain. We can utter cliches all day long, whatever it takes, as the K-Drats look to keep it going. Breeze picking up, and Ramirez takes outside, ball 3, 3-1. Henry in danger of putting the tying run on base with Calix Armijo on deck. Henry set. Long pause before he comes to the mound. And now time is called by Ramirez. Henry taking his long as possible to wait in the mound. Sun's going to be down and up by tomorrow by the time he throws the next pitch. Might be winter by the time that next pitch will come. Yeah, we're skipping autumn. 3-1. Swung on a miss. Strike 2 to Ramirez. Full count pitch. Stevens at first will be running with 2 outs. Tying run at the plate here in the 9th with 2 outs in a 4-2 ball game in favor of the Oilers. Ramirez. The 3-2. Takes inside, ball 4, keeps the game going. Stevens to second, Ramirez the tying run to first base. Now here's Calix Armijo, who does have some pop. 2 home runs to his credit, but both of those have come at Clark Field in the short porch to left center. If he can find something to hit to the gap, the Cage-Rats would tie this one up with already 1 run in here in the 9th from Faison reaching. A couple of defensive misplays by the Oilers here in the 9th have allowed the Cage-Rats back in it. Henry steps off. Stevens at second, maybe messing with Henry's head. I'm not sure because nobody's there to get him back to second base. But Marcellus Henry still 1 out away for the Oilers. Calix Armijo ready. Takes outside 1-0. Armijo 1 for 3. A single in the 3rd against Guzman. Struck out twice against Josh Garcia. So the 3rd different pitcher Armijo has faced today. 1-0. On deck is Jabri Walden if we get there. Calix Armijo takes upstairs 2-0. Patience at the plate for Calix. Now time is called as it looks like Oilers will have a mound meeting with Henry, looking to change the rhythm. Doesn't have positive emotion on the mound, just kind of sitting there, some shrugged shoulders. Nobody's warming up for the Oilers, so this will be it with Henry on the mound. 4-2 our score. 2 guys on base with 2 outs here. The go-ahead run is at the plate, but with the wind blowing severely in, don't expect some dramatic late home run here at Cerritos High School in the top of the 9th inning. Oilers up by 2. Rawlings reached on a ground ball that went through the wickets at third base, under the glove at third to short, and Rawlings beat the throw from the hole from shortstop from Rivera, scoring the run Faison. Ramirez battled to 3-2, earned the walk. Rawlings was pinch run for by Stevens, who is standing at second base, and Ramirez with speed at first. 2-0 the count to Armijo. Here in the 9th inning, Henry's meeting is done. Still plenty of daylight to play with here. Henry is 2-0, misses low for ball 3. Do you give Armijo the green light, or do you see that your pitcher that you're facing has thrown 3 out of the zone, nowhere near the strike zone? Henry casually pops it in there right down the middle for a strike. This time much quicker with his delivery. Here we go. 3-1. Good spot for Armijo to drive one. And he takes strike 2. He thought it was ball 4. The entire Oiler defense thought it was strike 3, and I'm not sure what game they're watching. 3-2 now. The drama heightens. Runners will be off with the pitch. Calix, all he needs is to find a gap in the game. Will be tied with 2 outs. 3-2. He chops it into the hole, fielded cleanly at short, and Rivera can't hold on to the ball. He was looking to go the short way to third, but with the runners in motion, had to be quick with the ball, went to his knees, and couldn't field it cleanly. The bases are now loaded for the Cage-Rats. The 3rd defensive misplay on the infield in this 9th inning for the Oilers. 1 to start the inning, and twice with 2 outs the Oilers have failed to put away the Cage-Rats. It's 4-2. Walden's up. He's 1 for 2 today. the tying and go-ahead runs on base for the Cage-Rats here in the ninth, still with 2 outs. Henry, as Walden will take a first pitch for a strike. That opens the door for Marcellus Henry to maybe throw a breaking ball. Henry, hailing from Long Beach City College, which is where the Oilers will play the second half of their season of games, is where they're listed to play. But right now here at Cerritos High. 0-1. And Walden just takes another fastball for a strike, refusing to take the bat off his shoulders right now. 0-2. 2 outs, bases loaded, Cage-Rats trailing by 2. Henry looking to escape a jam. Walden looking to play the hero. In the dirt, and Walden takes it. Doesn't even second guess it. 1-2, breaking ball. Of course, if it's a strike 3 in the dirt, any base is a potential force out. 1-2. Walden takes low, 2-2. Fastball just below the knees and a little bit outside. The Cage-Rat dugout on their feet on the edge of the fence, hoping this game keeps getting extended as they look to break things open in the ninth. Just one big hit they need that they haven't gotten all game long. Henry's 2-2 is chopped to short again. Rivera gets the clean hop, throws the first, and Walden is retired after a headfirst dive. So despite 3 misplays on the infield, the Cage-Rats can't come up with the big hit in the ninth inning. They leave the bases loaded and lose this one by a final of 4-2. They were down 4-1 heading into the ninth. They scored 1, had a couple of defensive misplays by the Oilers that let them get right back in it in the ninth inning, but they couldn't come through with one hit that they needed to potentially tie or take the lead, and that will do it here from Cerritos High School. Cage-Rats lose this one 4-2. They drop to 3-2 overall. They are now 0-2 away from Clark Field. They look to have a much better showing for themselves tomorrow at home in Clark Field, back in Long Beach. Tomorrow's first pitch will be at noon against the Ventura County Bucks before a day off on Wednesday. Cage-Rats gave up 3 first-inning runs off a couple of errors and some wild pitches. They wasted an effort from Rafael Cortez, who went 7 innings, struck out 9, and earns the loss. Strong starts from Guzman, who gives up 1, and a great job from Josh Garcia, who earns himself the win, going 3 innings in relief. Gets his team the win as Marcellus Henry, after doing a dangerous dance-around act of the ninth, strands the bases loaded as the Cage-Rats nearly do it, but they drop this one 4-2. From Cerritos High School, the Cage-Rats lose this one by a final of 4-2. I'm Zach Anderson-Yoxheimer saying good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon, exactly at noon, from Long Beach as the Cage-Rats take on the Bucks, looking to stay unbeaten at home on Facebook Live tomorrow on the Cage-Rats Broadcasting Network.